gonna say, well, like what I think Jay Stanza said, talking about going to the club. Look here, we as men, we all know why we going to the club. I'm not going to the club to fucking dance. I'm not going to listen to goddamn music. I'm not going to really drink because I can do all that at the crib. We going to pick up girls, to see girls, to try to get girls. That's my whole purpose going to a goddamn club. Now, if it's anything else, that's on y'all. Maybe, y'all dudes want to go dance. That's cool. And I'm sure the ladies probably want to go dance and listen to music and be entertained. But I'm sure it's there to get to attention of a man. It's the big reason. So if your friend sit there and say, man, come on, let's go to the club. Dude, so you want me to leave what I've currently got to go look at some possibilities that may not pan out later on, but it's some possibilities. I can guarantee going there and get a shot of ass. I can pray and hope and cross my fingers and maybe I'm going to get something. And then I'll mess around and mess up what I got at home. But with these tackheads at the club, yeah, I'm good. You call me a sip all you want. Because, dudes, that's what y'all going there to do, to pick up girls. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to have a club with my girl. I'm going to turn the music on. We're going to rock out. We're going to sip on a drink and dance together. Fuck it. Call it a night. But look, if you talking about you really want to hang out with you, yeah, hey, man, y'all more than welcome to come over here. My girl, she in the back room. She chilling. We come here and watch TV, play some cards, dominoes. I'm not into video games, but maybe they are. We can fire the PlayStation up or the Xbox. We can play Call of Duty or Madden. I don't know what y'all do now. Or 2K. We could do that here where I'm chilling. Go out on the deck, smoke a cigar, sipping on some Woodford Reserve. Yeah, I'm good. I don't need to go to the club to get girls. Mine's right there. Now, y'all need it because y'all lonely. Y'all at home using that goddamn Jergens every goddamn night. Not me.
But yeah, kind of like what Hank is saying, kind of to like how Jay Stanza said that his friends use simp towards him. Like, realistically, if we were in the 60s, what essentially happens is most times, often than not, people spent more time with their partner than they did with their friends. Unless it was like a family event, unless it was something like that. Like, we look at that as such a negative, but in actuality, most couples nowadays, like, they don't spend much time together before a baby is integrated, before they have to prioritize other things. And we look at it like it's unhealthy, but actually it's not. Like, you stop doing things when you get a partner. That should not be something that, we look at it goes to a negative. Your life changes when you integrate another person. But I do think it should be a healthy balance of, hey, I didn't completely write y'all off. However, if your friends are not understanding, like, now I'm in a relationship, now I'm dating with intention. I really think this could be something more. Let me see where this goes. I understand you're my friend. We got time together, but I ain't finna shame my friends and call her a pick me because she decided that she in a healthy relationship now and her time is more prioritized with her man as opposed to dealing with me. I'm not gonna do it, and I don't feel like that's justifiable. Like, when men call each other simps, like, you're not really checking your homie. You're really being jealous because the man ain't sitting around doing things that you were doing with him at first. He not your fun friend no more.
Yeah,
well, not only that, but I'm sorry. Not only that, but I promise you, soon as they get somebody, they gonna go show ass. You won't see no goddamn more. All of a sudden, where Tony at? Oh, Tony got a little girl. He happy now. We ain't seeing him like we used to. Goddamn, how come we gonna get on Jay Sanders? We're doing the same goddamn thing. But now Tony gone. This main one was calling me goddamn simp.
But see, sometimes the other thing that happens too, and I think we all went through it before. If we're not doing it right now, what happens is, if things go right between you and your woman, then what happens is y'all on the same thing. Like before on these shows on Sunday, we've talked about it. Balanced. I've heard you talk about it. Heard every woman on the stage talk about it. Like, when you have a purpose, when y'all on purpose, it's like sometimes some things fall off, and sometimes, this is just me. When I've been around my boys and my friends, they wasn't on the same purposeful things that I was on. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't make them wrong, doesn't make them horrible, doesn't make them any of that. But if I'm starting to be around people that's on what I'm on, like even as far as business, as far as whatever I'm doing, then I'm going to tend to spend more time with them. Now, the A+++ good thing about that is this: if your woman or if your man is on that, then like a lot of things get cut off. A lot of people get cut off. I've even seen people like not be around their family as much. And the family gets pissed off because that happens. Now, it's not like you don't, I'm not saying you don't never call and you just forget your family forever. But sometimes when you're focusing on doing something, building something, making something happen, then the focus shifts, especially if you're with somebody that you're laying down with every night. So what Hink was saying is spot on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not trying to go out there and find nothing else. You're not trying to do nothing else right now. And like a lot of times, if your friends are single, they are. So they trying to draw you into their world, and they're trying to make your world look less desirable to you so that you can rock with them. So you got, like I said, you always got to watch who you're talking to and who's talking to you.
But also in relationships, we got to admit there's also like a power dynamic that's going on while you're in a relationship. So there'll be times where your woman might be like, well, if you go hang out with them, well, don't even call me or blah, blah, blah. Now I got to go because now you trying me. Like, you trying my man. You trying to see where I'm staying in this relationship. If you can manipulate me, if you can control me. So that's why I'm like, all right, babe, I'm finna go out now. Because it's we got to admit, there's a power dynamic going on when you're in relationships. So when your woman give you that ultimatum and you fold to what she say, you simping.
Not necessarily. Let me tell you what you need to do. You need to have a conversation with your woman. Because if she's going to play them goddamn mind games with you like that, yeah, you need to cut her ass off. Because she's playing mind games. And you need to tell her, look, we not teenagers in high school no goddamn more. I'm a grown man. Don't come to me with these goddamn mind games you're trying to play. You want to play games? Go get your little boy in the playground. I'm a grown man. Treat me as such.
Because, we all got the homeboys that your girl might not, they don't want you to hang out with them. You got your homies that she like, I don't like him, I don't like him.
She has to understand, like, if I'm coming into your life and me and you together, I don't get to narrate anybody who's before me. That's your relationship with them. And if a woman coming into your life don't already understand and respect that, and she don't understand, like, you got your place, these are my friends for their reason, the same way you my woman for whatever reason. I made this decision. You don't get to make this decision for me. You're not here because you're their friend. You're here because you my woman. You owe them respect out the contingency of they're my friend. And they owe you respect out the contingency of you my woman. It ain't no conversation about that. Off cold is her not adhering to that. Hank was saying, the moment that she's challenging you, that's a sign of immaturity. You shouldn't have to feel like you got to flex or boast your ego for a woman who already on your same game plan, on your same thinking level. Like, you ain't got to do all it. If she's not going to make that difficult, she going to say, you know what? I know you've been spending a lot of time with me. Your friends want to see you. Go chill with your friends. I'll be here when you get back. Or this is going to give me an opportunity to do something else. As opposed to, well, you got to be around me, because at that point, you're right. It is controlling a power dynamic, but you shouldn't have that in the first place. That's very much so immature. You should have sat her down and told her, you know what? I understand we're in this relationship together, but we're not kids. I had a life before you, and I'm going to continuously have that life, but you're a part of it now. That don't mean you're not important. That just means that those people are important to me too.
Right. I agree.
And let me ask you a question. Jay Stanza, does she, when she did put up a fight about you going to hang out with your boys, what is she doing during that time? Does she have friends that she hangs out with, or does she have hobbies? Because if you're out and about and she's home waiting for you to be done with whatever you're doing, that's not going to be good. That's not going to be a good relationship, where she's sitting there like looking at the clock, waiting for you to show back up. Each of y'all have to have your own individual getaways and lives away from each other. And then when y'all come back, you know what I'm saying? It's like y'all gave each other a chance to miss each other. You know what I mean? Like, she can't be sitting there clocking your every move. So the question was, when you go out, is she just literally home clocking you?
Yeah, I think that at that time when we was together, I think it was like early college, so we was both brand new to the campus. So, but I kind of clicked with people faster than she did. So I already had my squad of people. She didn't really have nobody, so that's why she was on my case. Where you at? When you coming over? Blah blah blah. And I was like, yo, like, I'm either gonna chill with y'all, but she tripping, so I gotta go over here. And that's when they'd be like, oh, you simping, blah blah blah. And I didn't get it at the time, but after we separated and she started finding new friends and had her own life, I'm like, all right, bet. I saw what happened now. So what you saying is exactly what happened. She ain't really have nothing going on.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's more times often than not the problem, because their codependency is there. She thinks she's wrapped up in you, so you supposed to be doing the same thing. But actuality, she really wasn't respecting everything that was put down in the first place. She thought she was supposed to just come in and automatically the world that you created was supposed to revolve around her. It's cool if y'all making that decision and say, you know what? I know I got my friends. I'm gonna check in with them, but I want to give you all my time. That's one thing, as opposed to making a person say, we together, so I supposed to be with you all the time. I supposed to talk to you all the time. Nah, I still got a life, and there's still people who love me and honor me, and I want to spend time with them too.
And when you get older, you'll set more of those boundaries, you know what I mean? Because it'll be to the point where you go out with your boys, and you, whether you at the club or the bar, and you like, damn, I should have stayed home with my girl and just watch a movie. Like, you'll
Right.
get to that point where that gets old to you, and you like, let me chill on the couch. You know, I'd rather be watching a movie than in here with this loud music. I walk out, I can't even talk because I've been yelling the whole night, so now my throat is sore. You know what I mean? Like, it gets old.
All in all, it should be a choice, not a demand from your partner. It should be a self choice, not a demand.
My husband will not let me do, seeing as one of his main duties is to protect me.
I see this video.
Let me go to that one. Hold on one sec.
Here's a list of things my husband will not let me do because he's trying to protect me. 1, he will not let me stop on the side of the road to help somebody if he's not in the car with me to discern if that's a safe situation or not. 2, he will not let me pump gas at night if I'm alone. No. Either he's going to pump gas or I need to wait till the next morning, or I should have got it earlier in the day. Lots of creepy stuff happened at the gas station at night. 3, he will not let me wear leggings outside the house if my butt is not covered. He does not want me to be the object of another man's lust. 4, my husband will not let me work for somebody else. Now, I used to work for somebody else, but then he saw how the workplace was negatively affecting me, and then we had kids. He saw how beneficial it was to have the kids at home doing homeschool, learning at their own pace versus inside of the public school system, and the kids don't have to leave my sight so that they will not be abused or molested by a daycare worker or a soccer coach. 5, my husband will not let me spend too much time working on our business at home if it starts to take away from me taking care of the kids or me taking care of the home, because the kids and the home are way more important than any business ever could be. Does it sound like I'm in a controlling marriage? Nope. I am safe here. Please do not take me away from here. Thank you.
All right, Paris, I'm going to start with you on that one. How do you feel about things my husband will not let me do, seeing as one of his main duties is to protect me? You think she was overboard?
No, I feel like she actually was just trying to make some content, because the first 3 was common sense. No woman pumps gas late at night by herself. You already understand the dangers of being a woman. You typically prep for that already. Going outside with leggings on, I don't even think leggings are that much of an extreme, but as far as like covering your butt, you typically know when you are dressing to get attention from other men, and when you're dressing to be lustful of them. And stopping on the side of the road late at night, that was something that we just found out that came with Carly Russell. That wasn't even a common phenomenon. That's not something you commonly hear about. Women don't do that. We don't stop on the side of the road for people. That's not something associated with us. The other 2 things, I do think that they have a little merit as far as like, working for somebody else. That is a privilege to be a housewife in America. If you're a housewife in America, it's a privilege. Typically, most men feel as if, they can have their children at home, being safe, being homeschooled. That's what they want. I desire to be a housewife for like the first 3 years. I want to be a stay-at-home mom and homeschool my kids. If I have the opportunity to do so, I will do so. Also, taking away from work to, go and invest into your family. That's not so common amongst men. Most men feel as if they want to be able to have family time prioritized over their wives working for somebody else. So the other 3, I just feel like she got up one day wanting to make some content, and it kind of circulated.
All right, Hank, it's on you, brother. Do you feel...
No, I feel like everything she said was she was trying to make content on. I don't see nothing she said wasn't about making content to trigger some ladies. I mean, that's the whole video was trying to trigger women. I don't believe him. I don't believe a goddamn word she's saying she do. I believe she probably will pump her gas at night. I mean, if you're goddamn light on, what you gonna do? You're gonna have to pull into a goddamn gas station. I mean, hopefully it's well lit, you know. And most times, ladies, y'all do ride the line on low fuel. I don't know why y'all like to ride on them goddamn fuels. Y'all will ride on like it'll never get empty. But you'll do what you have to do. Falling, pulling somebody over, trying to help somebody. I'm a man. I'm not pulling my ass over trying to help your goddamn ass late at night. I'm not doing that unless I know you. Man, a woman, a child. I'm not doing it because I don't know your agenda, your intentions. So some of the shit was irrelevant. The part about wearing leggings and showing an ass, I mean, you know, goddamn, you don't have to wear leggings. A short skirt is going to attract a man's. Look, you could be fully clothed, it's going to attract a man's attention. You know, look, a man's going to pay attention if he finds you attractive, regardless. Now, probably the only thing I really can agree on is probably homeschool. And I just started feeling this way about the situation, but that's due to the climate of what's going on right now. Before, when my daughter was in school, I didn't have no problem with my daughter going to a public school. I just wanted her to go to the best school that is out there. So if that means I send her to a private school and I pay for it, I don't have no problem with that. But now that the atmosphere the way it is now, yeah, I probably would encourage, and I do right now with my granddaughter. I encourage my daughter, you might want to homeschool my grandbaby because of the climate and what's going on. But the rest of the stuff, yeah, I feel like it was just strictly to get triggered, to trigger women, to get the women talking, with women's opinion and all that other stuff. Because there's some things she didn't talk about. Going on girls trip. I didn't hear her say nothing about that. So I mean, is her husband okay with her going on girls trip, but she's not allowed to pump gas late at night? That don't make sense to me. She's not allowed to work, and wants to important. That don't make sense to me. I didn't hear nothing like it. But maybe she has another video coming here shortly talking about it. Who knows? I don't mean to ruin her flavor, her shine. So do what she need to do. Paris, is that your best friend? Is that why you're in agreement with her?
I didn't say I agree with her. I just seen the video and I laughed at it because I just felt like it was kind of like one of those things where she was looking for outrage. She was looking for attention. Maybe she got it. The first thing she said was, "I'm safe here. Don't take me away." And it's like nobody was trying to make you go sign divorce papers knocking on your door. Who says that? Like, okay, if he don't let you pump gas, great. I can call, get upside and get gas. Like, I don't really know what you want me to say. Like, your husband don't let you do these things. Congrats. He don't let you do these things. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, and like I said, the stuff about the late night gas pumping, yeah, unless that's a dire need, no, you shouldn't be pulling over to pump gas. But like I said, some people ride on fumes.
So real quick, let me ask you this question, Paris. What are 2 or 3 things that you would want your husband to do to make you feel protected, or your husband does do to make you feel protected, or significant other?
Well, when we go out, he's always very much so like ensuring that I'm near him. I'm always somewhere near him. Like even if we were at a store or something like that, I'm in eyes view of him. Especially with me, I carry a purse all the time. Other things, I always, when I'm going out of town, I'm always on standby. Like he has to know my location. He has to know what's going on. Ensuring that everything's up to par with my car and stuff like that. And then, I would just say, I don't know. Like I can't really just go into too much detail about it because it's just some stuff that I just be feeling like should be common sense. I'm one of the women that I feel like you need to protect yourself before you start trying to play victim. Like I'm a gun carrier, and stuff like that. So it's like those things he's already kind of prepped me for. Like he kind of takes those things into consideration. So it's already kind of things set aside, but I don't necessarily have those type of thoughts and worries and stuff like that. But I also have a village of men I'm really not one of them women who run around thinking, oh my gosh, somebody's gonna hurt me. So I don't really relate to that very much because the comfort of my safety is already there. So I don't necessarily have an afterthought about it.
Young blood, I'm gonna help you out again. Don't you ever tell a woman wear whatever you want, whatever you want. Don't do that, bro. Because they'll take you up on that shit, and then she gonna wear some shit you really won't agree with.
I think I'm just different. I think I like that type of shit. That's just me. I think I'm just a different type of dude. Like I like, because if I want to be in a committed relationship, you obviously want to keep the attraction going. That's a lot of times people get in that long-term relationship and they just let it go. They just stop. So I'm not a proponent to that. If she want to dress sexy, I'm with it.
Yeah, but that's basically go to the extreme. That's what I'm trying to tell you. When you put that message out there to her, she will take it to the extreme.
Yeah.
These ladies in 2023 will take that to the extreme, and then it's gonna be to the point where she's wearing up but bra and panties. You said you don't care. Oh no, then you're gonna feel some type of way. You think your boy's calling you a simp now?
I think if she loved and care about you, she would not put you in a position where you gotta be on some type of like other dudes coming at you. If a woman really down for you, she would not put you in that type of hostile.
That's why I say I think it's a fine line, right? Because I have a lot of followers. Like I have a huge platform. He sees me everywhere. But even with me having that much of attention, most guys would be like, I don't know how he deal with her. I know she got men in her DMs. I know she got, and seeing sometimes the post or men making commentary, but I'm very respectful about it, right? Like I understand that he may not be a visual creature to you, but he's a very present person to me. So therefore, I don't allow the idea of, oh, well, I'm finna go entertain this under post, or I'm finna go and make those men feel like it's okay. There is a fine line between you letting your woman feel like everything is okay that she does versus you saying, don't play with me. And I think I think you really have to be mindful of that, because what will happen is you will run into that woman where when your homie's over the house, you told her everything was cool. Now she walking around with her booty shorts on and her bra. And now it ain't so cool no more. Cause she walking around prancing in front of y'all, kicking it. Like,
but let me ask Hank real quick. So let's say you dating a woman, she really curvy and she wearing that sundress. You know the sundress. Is that cool with you or not?
I don't have no problem as long as it's not revealing shit.
I mean, look here, the sundress be showing. Y'all know this about the sundress. Come on.
Yeah, it shows the shape.
Be showing that thing.
It shows the color. That's all it's showing. But you got to use your imagination, right? Mm-hmm. That's what you have to do. And I'm okay with you using imagination. It's expected.
Right.
I promise you. Jay says, I'm looking at your girl.
Right.
But if she going to show her ass, I'm going to look. Now, I'm not going to press up on her. I'm not going to do anything to try to get at her. But I'm going to look. Now, and it depends on the man and how he feels about that. Can you handle somebody just in there galling and staring at your girl like that? More likely you probably can't. Most men can't. Their pride won't let them. People say, I ain't got, until you see some dude just sitting there in a corner, looking on ice cream cone, just looking at your girl, just thinking all type of things. No, nobody want that. So, but these are certain conversations you need to have up front with your girl. These are the tough conversations you need to have. Baby, let me ask you a question. You see a girl, would you wear something like that? That's all you had to do. You ain't got to go in Pacific, going through a closet like that. Just throw it out there. Have the conversation from the get-up. And just to see where her mindset, that's going to let you know every goddamn thing. But to throw it out there and sit there and say, you can wear whatever you want. I don't care what you wear. Woo, to me, in 2023, that's a dangerous message you're putting out there. I'm just saying.
I just think a lot of men, they think they're going to do something to stop other men from looking or hollering at their girl. That's
impossible. No, you're not going to do that.
Right.
That's going to happen.
A lot of men think that. A lot of men think
it's
impossible. If she's attractive, they're not going to talk to her.
That's going to happen. But what you try to do is try to do risk to make it obvious. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to look, but it's not going to be obvious. You know what I'm saying? If I see something more revealing, of course, it might go more than the 3-second rule, right? It might go about 5 to 10 seconds, depending on the situations. It could. And you don't want that. And then some people get as bold as, going up and say something to you, girl, while you right there beside her, trying to get at her. Now you got a different situation you got to deal with.
Right. That's
You understand what I'm
disrespectful. But
saying?
remember, in the video, she said she couldn't wear leggings, and I'm like, women wear leggings all the time. So like, if your girl's curvy, it's gonna
Yeah,
show
that's
something.
true. That's true. That's true.
You know
That's
what I'm
true.
saying? So it's gonna show. If she curvy, it's gonna show something. So as a man, you just got to be secure in yourself. But
Yeah, I think that's a
what I'm-
different situation though, because you literally see girls now, they're going to get the bathing suits, and that's what they're wearing as regular shirts to the club. The bathing suit tops. Like, we know this because we're women. And it's like, okay, you know, it's the club. I expect you to have some risque on, but they taking them same club outfits and they going to the family functions in them, bro. Like, she around your cousins with her booty cheeks out and her nipple rings showing. And you walking around saying, man, it's cool. That's my girl. It ain't no big deal. She can wear what she want to wear, but it's like, you know, at some point she should be more mindful of it's a time and it's a place. Like, it's an understanding that you don't control my attire. However, I do respect you enough to just not be wearing no anything everywhere. Because what we're wearing at home and what I'm wearing at home with you, I do need to be more mindful of that if we got company. I don't want to be answering the door, getting my package from Amazon, and oops, you know, it's like, nah, some of that stuff needs to be toned down.
It's all about boundaries, dog. At the end of the day, it's all about boundaries, and you got to have that conversation with your lady, with your wife, with your significant other, whatever the title you want to give her. It's all about boundaries, and if you gonna be okay with her crossing boundaries, you have to be okay when she crosses them boundaries.
But Hank, you hit it on the head, Hank. You gotta have that conversation. Like, that conversation has to be had, because I think a lot of times the conversation ain't had. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like inferred, right? That you know you're not supposed to do these things, or today you feel a certain way and the next day you don't. Because we have to be honest with ourselves. Like, things do change over time, and the closer you get to a person, because at first, think about it, at first you may not care as much when you just jump in with somebody. You know what I'm saying? And really, like, you got to look at the context of the video. The person she talking about, I'm quite sure they've been together for a minute, if not married. Did they say she was married? I'm not sure.
They're married.
I can't remember right now. They were married. So, you know what I'm saying? That's a different context. Now, Jay Stanza, you might be talking about a relationship whereas y'all are rocking, y'all been kicking it for a minute or whatever, and it's like, hey, whatever, we do what we do, woo, woo, woo. If it's like that, then I can understand what you're saying. But, man, as them emotions get involved, as you really get into things with that person, as you start investing time, number one, and then money and other things with that person, then, you know, you got to have that conversation to kind of set those boundaries that Hank was talking about.
Yeah, definitely, man. Balancing you there. But what I was gonna say with Jay Stanza, like, is damage control. You know, some stuff should just be for you. You know, between you and woman, some stuff should be just for you, just for your eyes only. You know, you'll notice initially, and like they were saying, initially it may not bother you at all. You know, then later on in the relationship, when your feelings build up a little more and you feeling more protective, and you in the club and you see how people are, you know, looking at her, you may want to protect that. You may want to shield her from that, you know, because like Hank said, it's 2023, man. Dudes is out of pocket, chicks is out of pocket, like, you know, so you want to mitigate risk, man. You definitely don't want to get caught up with that. What are, I guess, like a few things that you have done or will do, you know, to ensure the protection of your woman?
Yeah.
Or that you feel like a man should be doing, excuse me.
Right. I don't think anything she said was off, and I agree with the consensus of the room that was just for some content. But the other thing I want people to really realize and understand is this. You asked me what I think it should be, and I think everybody got their own flavor of what it should be. We need to really make sure that we understand that, because the first thing that a relationship needs to have is an understanding, right? All those things she said were very specific to me, to her lifestyle, what they're doing and what's going on. Like the pumping of the gas and all that stuff. Some of that stuff is regular. But then I've also seen relationships whereas, you know, maybe there aren't kids involved, because she never mentioned marriage, right? We're talking relationships, not just marriage. So there may be a point where somebody's out of town. You know, nowadays, man, people are traveling like crazy for work and whatever they're doing. So those things that she was talking about, hey, don't mess up my world. I kind of get what she's saying. Like I said, like don't come mess up my world, because like I think all of us on this panel have a certain way of thinking, and we're saying, hey, you kind of want to do that anyway. Like you hear Hink talk, you know, Hink will tell a joke here or there, but then when it get down to the nitty gritty, he doing things for his woman. He making sure his woman is straight. He making sure all those things that she needs is there. Paris just mentioned that her, you know, her significant other does the same for her. Jay, I know you on the same thing too. So it's like this panel is on that. But I think what she was saying is that there are literally people out there that's like, yo, pump that gas. You know what I'm saying? Like you can do that. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like some of those things they wouldn't even do for her. Now, when it comes down to what I would do, like a lot of those things I agree with, right? But the thing that I need to make sure of is, and I've made this grave mistake before, and it sounds crazy, but sometimes you can overdo because you think you're doing everything that you think she should have, but then, you know, you really haven't even dug into it. And you have to be careful because it could turn into control, where you actually like controlling what she do, like guiding everything she do, and you just making the path for her. So sometimes you got to have that conversation to just know what's up. Now, I'm not saying that you can't be a gentleman. Be a gentleman. But then if you're going overboard, then that's cool, because some people could see what she said even about, you know, like, well, okay, you don't need to wear nothing too revealing. I get that piece. But then, okay, where does that bleed over into, hey, you can't wear that at all, or you can't do this at all? So you got to be careful with that, because that could turn into control. And that's one thing that I try to watch, is I don't try to control a person, but, you know, I try to fill them out. And then sometimes while I'm filling them out, if it don't jive, then we got to deal with that situation in a different manner.
Eric, I really kind of feel like she was doing that to kind of slight other women, not necessarily to say, hey, don't nobody else do this for you. This kind of putting them on game. But I feel like she was trying to do it as kind of like an aha moment, based off of her tone, her disposition in the video, how she wrapped it up, you know, kind of like gauging her body language. It was very much so kind of elitist, like, my husband does these things for you and you don't have it. That's kind of like the disposition I got off of that. I could have took it a lot more. I would have been more receptive to it if I felt like it wasn't generic. If I felt like she wasn't one of those women who walking around wearing her ring and going, I'm married, you're not. That's just kind of like the energy she was giving me. Like, my husband does these things for me, and if you don't have a man that does this, then you don't have a good man. You know, it's like I don't really know where she was going with that. Because even with the topic of conversation for clothes, you know, it's I don't have a man that he cares about that, but at the same time, I also am a woman who's raised that there's just some underlying respect. Some things you just don't do. He may not say nothing about me going out in a super tight dress, but at the same time, that's not my daily attire. I wouldn't go to the grocery store in it or the church in it.
Right. All right, Jay Stanza, same question for you. What are some things that you have done or will do in the future, you know, when you finally meet your significant other?
Well, in terms of the video, I think she said a lot of common sense stuff. So I agree, like pumping gas and not picking up strangers. That's just common sense. You always got to be on point. Where I bring the questions up is the leggings part, and I agree with Eric on control. A big word you hear nowadays is submission. A lot of men talking about submission, and men need to understand the difference between submission and control. A lot of men want control. They don't want submission. Submission is when a woman wants to follow your lead, but control is like when you trying to control everything she do. And I'm big on not trying to control a woman. Wear what you want to do, wear what you want. I love you regardless. men want submission, but they really want control. So it's a difference. I'm not trying to control anybody. The more you try to control a woman, I feel she pulls away from you. And I'm not trying to control any human being. So I agree with Eric.
Yeah, I think Eric made a good point in terms of control, because it's almost like spoiling somebody. You know, like you do so much for somebody that you start to spoil them and they start to expect it. These things that you were doing willingly and just, you know, as a comfort thing, you turn, next thing you know, they're expecting those things, you know, when they really should be like luxuries or bonuses. But what you mentioned about the control, once they start allowing you to have this input on all these things, after a while, you just feel empowered to be like, hey, hold on, what you got on? You know what I mean? Like it definitely happens that way. I've been guilty of that. Whereas,
Bro,
Because
and
at
the
the end
other
of the day,
thing,
she's a human being. So I mean,
yeah,
she can make her own choices and decisions. But like I said, a lot of men don't understand the difference between submission and control. When she willingly wants to follow your lead, like, hey, meet me here at this time, blah blah blah. Or the difference, like you like, oh, you know, you can't wear this, you can't go there, you can't hang out with her. That's control. That's a
and, that,
difference.
and you know the other thing too, bro. Real quick, the reason why I mentioned that control thing, because there's another thing that you got to introduce into it is, and I saw somebody in the chat talk about it, that whole quid pro quo thing, which is I did this for you. Now what do I expect back from you too? You know what I'm saying? Like you really got to watch that. And in the video, she might not have said that as much, but I do see that in relationships. Whereas a brother does things, and I'm just speaking for men because I'm a man, like he'll do all these things, right? And then he'll expect the pat on the back. He'll expect somebody to lift him up and do all those things because maybe there's something going on with his self-esteem or whatever. And then, you know what I'm saying? A woman, certain women who are raised a certain way or have a certain standard about themselves, they think that, hey, this is supposed to rock like this. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what you do for a woman. And then when you do that and you're not shouting it from the rooftops or doing something like that young lady was doing, then the brother feels a little off. You know what I'm saying? He now, you know, that control piece comes in, and then that lack of appreciation piece comes in, and that's when it can turn ugly. So, you know, our motives are everything when we do those things for women. And that's why I said that thing about control. Like your motive got to be pure. Like, man, you just want to love on your woman. That's all.